Ladies and gentlemen, the Americans here in Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. Mondays is always long because there's so much news to cover from over the weekend. So let's just get to it. Before I do, I just want to thank and remind everybody that tonight at 6 p.m. on Triggered, the podcast of Donald Trump Jr., he interviewed somebody else. I think I'm the second interviewee, but 6 p.m. show, it will air. He interviewed me about all the hell that's happened relative to the butcher of Pakistan. The mainstream media and local media won't cover it, so I'm going to the big guns. Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan next, maybe. I think so. All right, rest in peace, George Foreman. I made this the lead story because I think George Foreman was an iconic figure in America, not just boxing. Not only after a great career boxing, he came back, boxed even as an old man. And not only, remember the George Foreman grill? And he became a great personality. I was a George Foreman fan from the beginning. Before I liked Ali, I couldn't stand Ali, so I was always rooting for George Foreman to beat Ali. But the bottom line is, he died too young. I think he was 76 years old. Every one of his sons is named George. I'm sure will carry on his legacy. Donald Trump went to the NCAA wrestling championships, and the place went berserk. And, of course, he went there with his entourage, including Elon Musk. Jim Jordan is a big wrestling fan. But this was unbelievable. Everywhere, you know, and this is so funny because when Tim Walz says, ooh, they fear my masculinity. Well, Tim, how come if that's the case, Trump goes and is cheered at UFC events, NASCAR events, Super Bowls, college football games, Army, Navy, NCAA wrestling, on and on and on. These are Trump people, Timmy boy. Bill Maher says he's going to go to the White House. Kid Rock is brokering this. This ought to be interesting. Cabinet meetings being held today, the third one. It's a big table to have a cabinet meeting, all that brain power around it. Trump says he'll pay the astronauts extra money. This is one of the funniest things. I told my wife, I said, I wonder how much, do they get paid more because they got stuck in space? Turns out they don't. Trump says he'll pay it out of his own pocket. Fetterman tells AOC to shut up. They didn't want to shut down the government. Yikes. Democrats are losing Generation Z voters. That's not good at all. And the Dems are just generally losing in the polls. Musk says, hold on to the Tesla stock. It will go up. Have you seen some of the products that they just released? The Tesla Roadster? I think I want to buy the Tesla Roadster. But stock will come back after the domestic terrorism is over. Trump says the new Boeing fighter jet is going to be the F-47, and he actually chose Boeing for the project over Lockheed. Get it, though, F-47. Johnson & Johnson's the latest pharmaceutical company who says they're going to invest billions in the United States. Brian Kofberger, I can't stand this sicko guy. Part of the evidence they got against him is he took a selfie about 10 hours after his dirty deed. Thumbs up, little smirk, memorializing it. Bushy brow guy. He's toast. Major League Baseball's taking down all their DEI stuff's gone. See how Trump's changed the world for the better? It's awesome. Security clearances have been pulled on Kamala, Hillary, Bragg, and Letitia James. Why the hell did Bragg and Letitia James have it in the first place? And Kamala's the front runner for 2028. Yeah, let's hope she stays there. Rest in peace, Kitty Dukakis. She battled addiction problems, was a faithful and loyal first wife to Michael Dukakis, and she's now passed away. Kaya Trump got a new cyber beast. Apparently she's bragging that she smoked her dad in his Cybertruck. Don Jr., I love it. That girl's living the life. All right, Patel says they're going to move 1,000 ATF agents to the FBI. Boy, does that make sense. That makes sense. Scott Peterson, the guy who killed his wife, apparently got the hell beat out of him after a pickleball battle in prison. Caitlyn Jenner says she has more masculinity than Tim Walz. Oh, Caitlyn, that's funny. It's also true. Angry Bernie walked off the set. He said, I'm out of here. ABC News, when they talked about AOC being in the Senate. The Democratic Party's in shambles. And guess who is going to be their leader? AOC. You can't ask for anything better. And Texas Representative Kay Granger, Republican, was in a nursing home for 5 months and never said anything. You believe it? They just cannot give up their money. And there was a tragic New Mexico shooting. 4 killed, 14 injured. This is the guy that they apprehended right here. I wonder if he is a illegal immigrant or not. Looks like one. Rest in peace, Representative Mia Love. I think she was 49, was the first black Republican elected to Congress. Died of cancer. And Joe and Jill attended Broadway. And you know what? Why not, I guess? Here he is pictured with Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal. Denzel Washington was interviewed on CBS Morning News on Sunday, and he was great interview. He said he's not a Hollywood actor. He's an actor. He's not a Hollywood. He wants out of that Hollywood crap. Big Dallas Cowboy fan, too. But this was the opening of Othello. All right, Devin Archer is going to get a full pardon by Trump because he got screwed, says Trump. Nike reported their first-time billion-dollar losses. That's scary. I wonder what all those the NBA players that got Nike contracts, hey, we're still going to get paid, aren't we? All right, turning to world news, the United States. I don't know exactly what this means. I got to study it. But apparently the United States could be invited by the king into the British Commonwealth. I don't know what exactly that means, but Trump says fine. It strengthens our partnership. Why not? Usha Vance is headed to Greenland, or she's not there now. Part of the Trump push to make Greenland part of the United States. Now, I just got to say funny. They say Putin prayed for Trump. I don't deny it. But isn't this just like the mafia godfathers that you see that go to church and then murder everybody? I mean, Putin's something else. Fetterman received a silver-plated beeper from Netanyahu for his support of Israel. You got to love that. Turning to pop culture, Snow White has bombed. This is going to be the lowest performing Snow White non-animated movie ever. And Rachel Ziegler, who looks perfect for Snow White, apparently went really woke. The script's really woke. And the woke Snow White apparently is not going to do very well. There was a fire at Epcot. More problems for good old Disney. And Bezos and Sanchez apparently have sent out their wedding invitations. It's a destination wedding. Does that shock you? Lily Stewart. I love this gal. Lily Stewart, the Georgia Peach, I called her. Get this. She gets pulled over for a ticket, like on Friday. She gets pulled over a half an hour later for another ticket. They arrest her because speeding ticket. She was obviously in a hurry to get somewhere. Well, turns out she's now been arrested Saturday for loitering or something. It sounded to me like she was maybe trying to look in windows or she was hanging out at a party or something. But she's gone viral. She's now famous. Why? Obvious reasons. She's beautiful. She's a Georgia sorority girl. My goodness. She's obviously a real pistol. I wonder what her parents think about this. All right, Sports Without Boundaries, NCAA games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Too much to cover. I want to say this. St. John's game against Arkansas, none of those teams could shoot. Arkansas won. Florida held off UConn, which was another big win. 7 SEC teams are in the Sweet 16. That's pretty good. Thursday, Bama plays BYU. Florida plays Maryland. Duke at Arizona. Texas Tech at Arkansas. University of Kentucky, by the way, plays on Friday. Miller Gardner, he was the son of Brett Gardner, the New York Yankee. 14, passed away apparently with some kind of food poisoning. The whole family got sick while they were on vacation. Something's up there. NCAA wrestling, where Trump attended, Wyatt Hendrickson in the last 20 seconds upset the undefeated two-time champion in the heavyweight division. He said he did it for Trump. He's an Oklahoma State cowboy, former Air Forcer. And Paul Skeen's car that that little kid got sold for $1.1 million. Isn't that something else? All right, we close with the Shakespeare insult today. As always, do not be a bat-fouling, fusty rat. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Make sure you check out our local news too.